Have you ever pictured working from a beach? Or maybe just from your kitchen table in your pajamas? Today we're talking about remote work, and by the end, you'll know exactly how remote teams actually stay connected and get things done. So here's the big question people ask me all the time. How do people work together when nobody's in the same building?
Right, that's what confuses me. If we're not in an office, how does anyone actually know what's going on?
Great question. A lot of remote teams use something called asynchronous communication, or Async for short. That just means you don't need to reply right away. You read a message, think about it, and answer when you're ready.
Oh, so it's the opposite of a phone call where you have to answer instantly.
Exactly. Imagine your teammate in Tokyo sends a message at midnight your time. You don't have to wake up for it. You just check in the next morning and reply.
That makes sense. But doesn't that get confusing with everyone working at different hours?
It can, especially because of time zones. A time zone is just the local time in a certain part of the world. So when it's morning for you, it might already be evening for someone else.
So how do teams even plan a meeting if everyone's clock says something different?
They usually find a small window where a few time zones overlap, and they protect that time for meetings. Everything else happens async.
Is there a word for the opposite, when everyone's actually online together?
Yes, that's called synchronous, or sync for short. It just means happening at the same time. A live video call is synchronous, while a message you answer later is async.
Got it. So teams mix both. Some sync, some async.
Exactly, and a lot of that sync time happens when people dial in to a video call from wherever they are.
Dial in.
It just means joining a call remotely, usually from your laptop or phone. You'll hear it a lot. Just dial in when you're ready.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. But honestly, doesn't working alone all day get kind of lonely?
That's a real issue. It's called isolation, and it just means feeling cut off from other people. Remote workers sometimes go a whole day without talking to anyone.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Is there a way people deal with that?
Some people join a co-working space. That's a shared office building where people from different companies come to work side by side, even though they're not on the same team.
Oh, like a coffee shop, but actually built for working.
Exactly, with fast internet and quiet desks. It gives people a bit of human contact during the day.
That's smart. But if nobody's watching you work, what stops people from just not doing anything?
That's where autonomy comes in. Autonomy just means having the freedom to manage your own time and decisions. Good remote companies trust their people with that freedom instead of watching every move.
So it's less about being watched and more about being trusted to get results.
Exactly, and that trust has to go both ways. Teams need to check in with each other regularly so trust doesn't turn into silence.
What do you mean, silence?
Well, there's a saying, out of sight, out of mind. It means if people can't see you, they can sometimes forget about you completely. So remote workers have to make a bit of extra effort to stay visible.
Wow, I never thought about it that way. So staying quiet for too long can actually hurt you.
Right. That's why smart remote workers switch off at the end of the day, but during work hours, they check in often. A short message, a quick update, just enough so people know they're there.
That sounds like a lot to balance. Is that where the phrase work-life balance comes from?
Exactly right. Work-life balance just means having enough time and energy for both your job and your personal life, without one taking over the other.
I imagine that's harder when your home is also your office.
It really is. If people don't manage it well, they can end up with burnout. Burnout is when you feel completely exhausted, mentally and physically, usually from working too much without a break.
Yeah, I think everyone's felt that at some point. How do people avoid it?
A lot of it comes down to setting clear stopping points in the day and actually taking real breaks, not just eating lunch at your desk while answering messages.
That makes sense. Hey, I've also heard the term digital nomad. What's that about?
A digital nomad is someone who travels from place to place while working remotely. Maybe a few weeks in Lisbon, then a month in Bali, all with just a laptop and good Wi-Fi.
That sounds amazing, honestly. Doesn't that make time zones even harder though?
It really does. A digital nomad might wake up and realize their team's workday already ended 6 hours ago. That's when async communication becomes essential, not just convenient.
Okay, that's a great point. What about companies themselves? Do they all support this kind of setup?
Some do, and they're often called remote-first companies. That just means the company is built around remote work from the very start, instead of treating it as an occasional exception.
So it's not just you can work from home sometimes, it's the actual default.
Exactly. Everything, from meetings to documents to onboarding, is designed for people who aren't in a shared office.
That's a totally different mindset. How do people on these teams actually stay close though? Doesn't it feel distant?
A lot of teams make an effort to team up on small projects, even across departments, just so people build real relationships instead of only trading messages.
Team up, like actively pairing people together.
Right, pairing up to solve something together, even briefly. It builds trust fast.
And I guess if something feels off, people just reach out directly instead of waiting.
Exactly. To reach out just means to contact someone first, rather than waiting for them to come to you. In remote work, that small habit prevents a lot of misunderstandings.
This is a lot to take in, but it's clicking. Ready to see it in action? Let's run a real scene.
Perfect. I'll be the manager doing a virtual check-in, and you be the remote employee. Ready?
Ready? Hi, sorry, I saw your message pop up. Is everything okay?
Hey, no worries. Nothing urgent. I just wanted to check in since it's been a quiet week. How's the project going on your end?
It's going well, actually. I've been working async with the design team, so we're not always online at the same time, but we leave notes for each other.
That's great to hear. And how are you doing with the isolation side of things? Working alone can be tough some weeks.
Honestly, some days are hard. I started going to a co-working space twice a week, and it really helps to see other people.
Smart move. Just remember, you have full autonomy here. Manage your hours the way that works for you, as long as we stay in the loop.
I appreciate that. I'll try to check in more often too, so nobody thinks I've disappeared.
Good, because out of sight, out of mind is very real around here. How's your work-life balance been, by the way?
Honestly, a bit rocky. I've been answering messages late at night, and I think I'm heading toward burnout.
Let's fix that before it gets worse. Try setting a clear time to switch off, and dial in only for the meetings that really need you live.
That helps a lot, thank you. Actually, since we're a remote-first team, could I try being a digital nomad for a month? Work from somewhere new?
I don't see why not. As long as we stay synchronous for our key meetings, just team up with someone to cover for you if the time difference gets tricky.
Deal. I'll reach out before I go so we can plan it properly.
Good, because out of sight, out of mind is very real around here. Alright, that's exactly the mindset we want.
And scene. Did you catch how naturally all of that fit into a real check-in?
I did. That's really the heartbeat of remote work. Let's pull it all together. So today we learned that async communication means you don't need instant replies, while sync means everyone's together at the same time, like when you dial into a call.
We also talked about time zones shaping when teams can meet, and isolation being a real challenge that a co-working space can help with.
And autonomy means you're trusted to manage your own time, but that trust works best when people check in and stay visible. Because out of sight, out of mind is a real risk.
Plus, protecting your work-life balance matters so you don't slide into burnout. And if you do want more freedom, remote-first companies make it possible to become a digital nomad.
Exactly, and it all runs smoothly when people team up and reach out instead of staying silent. Remote work isn't about being alone. It's about staying connected in new ways. Let's see what stuck. A quick check.
What does asynchronous communication mean? What's the difference between synchronous and asynchronous work? Why can working remotely lead to isolation? What is a co-working space? What does the idiom out of sight, out of mind mean in a remote work context? It means that if people can't see you, they might forget about you. so remote workers need to stay visible by checking in often. What's the difference between work-life balance and burnout? What is a digital nomad?
Thanks so much for watching and learning with us today.
This is Ethan.
And I'm Alex.
If this helped you, follow us for more lessons like this one. And drop your practice score in the comments below.
Keep practicing your English every single day, and we'll see you in the next one.